Vermont.
There's a lot of focus on what divides us, but the real opportunity here is what unites us. We're having a contest here with this shutdown where our side is very concerned about what happens to these tax credits. Your side is very concerned about using a shutdown as a tactic. I think we both have pretty valid arguments. And one of the reasons I think there's merit in our position is the reality that once the December 31st deadline arrives, people literally are going to lose health care. So what unites us? Both sides really do want to have all of government paid, and we want to be reopened. And both sides, I believe, want to make certain that the people we represent continue to have access to health care, that the health care they had in 2025, they're going to have in 2026. That won't happen unless we resolve this. And given the time crunch, the only way, as a practical matter, we can do something that helps the people you represent and helps the people I represent is extend what we have for another year. So it's not an overreach on the part of, say, folks who want a single-payer health care system. It's not overreach or diminishing any concerns folks on the Republican side, and by the way, on our side, have about the cost of health care. We are in a practical crunch where unless this United States Senate acts, the people we represent are going to lose health care. That's the fact. That's just the fact. It's the way it is. And we've talked about how those premium increases are going to spike. So what do we do in this situation where Leader Thune, who we trust, who we respect, is taking a position that we won't have discussions until we reopen government? Why do we object to that or have cautions about that? We trust Leader Thune. We trust our Republican colleagues. But what happens after it goes out of the Senate? We have no guarantee whatsoever it'll be taken up in the House at all. So the question that a farmer in Vermont would ask me at the end of any agreement is, Peter, what does this mean? Will I get my health care in 2026? And unless we have it where it's going to get a vote with some support from our colleagues in the House, the answer is I don't know, but I hope so. So we find ourselves with January 1st here, and that farmer, that small business person, not having health care. And again, this is the lament I have. What we're trying to do here, the folks who are going to benefit or not suffer are Republicans who voted for Trump and Democrats who voted for Harris and independents who didn't like either candidate at all. So we have an opportunity. And actually, we're the only people in the United States of America who have an opportunity. The only people, it's us, who've been entrusted by the people who we represent with their vote to solve this problem. And what I think is being proposed has a quality that's rare around here. It's restraint. We're not trying to overreach. We're just trying to say, maintain the status quo so that the folks in America who are getting their health care with the help of some tax credits will continue to have that health care in 2026 as they have it in 2025. So I hope we can come together for this temporary fix. And by the way, I just want to say the cost of health care is exploding. And we have an obligation, if we want to maintain access to health care, to address that. It's not a solution to deal with the health care crisis by taking people off of health care. They still get sick. So when our leader says that we want this bipartisan committee to address the cost of health care, we are sincere about that, because the biggest threat to the continued access to health care is the exploding cost of health care. I yield to my colleague from Wisconsin.